This is one whole chapter of our 1995 production of the SP's Coastline when they were improving but still facing eventual absorption. The complete DVD video is available, also including sections on the Arizona-Lordsburg District, branch lines, Donner Pass, and Stockton Tower, and some great surprises.
The Coastline features the other engineering feat designed by William Hood, the well-known Horseshoe Curve, a few miles, compass north, of San Luis Obispo. As the sun is setting on a late spring evening, a westbound approaches that will pass an eastbound waiting just above the Horseshoe Curve. The westbound is cleared, and wasting no time, the eastbound will roll, and it's all downhill, making the startup light work. Above the famous Horseshoe Curve is the siding named Chorro, which is the Spanish word for flood or a gushing of water. Looking up this grade, you can almost picture what would happen in a heavy rainstorm. Heading downhill, the BA-CIT mixed manifest freight from the Bay Area is an eastbound by SP timetables, and it's heading compass south. This train is only slightly late, appearing at the Horseshoe Curve at about 7:30 a.m. Not completely obvious are the 3-point helpers consisting of 2 SD-40 tunnel motors and a Morrison-Knudsen rebuilt regular SD-40. They're on the downgrade side of their eastbound run, and they nevertheless are still helping with their extra braking capacity. The helpers are based in San Luis Obispo, which is a full station facility for Amtrak. But the facility for freight is now a mere shadow from the days when it featured a full roundhouse, turntable, and yard facility. The old water tank is the only reminder of the days when the big AC cab forwards were still used in helper service. The SP facilities here now consist of a small office and a drive-up refueling service for the helper sets. In today's lean and mean railroading, it's all you need. In fact, with the UP takeover, we may see an end to helper service altogether. Below the Horseshoe Curve is the famous Stenner Creek Bridge, or viaduct, and we see the same three helpers heading west, still assigned to the service a few months later. After lifting the train up to Santa Margarita, they'll be cut off. The helper set is preparing to return to San Luis Obispo to wait for another train. Between these points, approximately 13 of the 19 miles of track are under CTC control. This type of control improves the track capacity, and it keeps the Cuesta and its grades and tunnels from being a bottleneck, especially with the shuttling back and forth of helper sets as extra traffic. SP's business car train was captured on film over 15 years ago on its return trip north. This dual SDP-45 powered train is near Seacliff, California, milepost 388. This train brings back visions of SP's Coast Daylight trains that were admired by all. The locomotives on this train were covered in depth in our SP by the Bay video with their unique service record. Back to more current times in 1995, and SP's independence was shrouded in uncertainty. This Guadalupe turn is just compass north of Santa Barbara, heading SP timetable west towards Guadalupe. Off in the distance is the headlight of a double-stack train that will follow up the coast to Gaviota. This train would run cautiously behind the local, as it would be held up by a meet with the southbound coast starlight up ahead. This is the conductor's side view of one of the nicest places to work in all of railroading. We're now crossing the bridge at Gaviota, which has a state beach and park beneath the bridge. This is the view from the pier at Gaviota, just off of the 101 Coast Highway. This is milepost 270 on the coastline. It's 1996. The point and trailing units are new SD70Ms with an eastbound manifest freight, heavy with lumber from the Pacific Northwest. Full trains, an upswing in business, and 600 new locomotives bought since 1991 were unfortunately not enough to forestall the demise of SP as an independent line. We're at Grover, just south of Pismo Beach, and this train is stopping on the 6,300-foot siding. They'll wait for another manifest heading up the coast to pass by. Since the switches in this territory are manually operated, it's convenient for the two-man crew to leave the conductor also acting as brakeman, back at the switch and back the train out of the siding. In this way, the conductor doesn't need to run to the head of the train before it starts. This is just another one of those little things that made the Coastline an interesting operation. It'll be sad but interesting to see how long it'll take the UP to change these practices. Where else could you see a train provide 2 run-bys on a main line at once? Watch how quickly the mix of SD70s and the SD45 pull this 85-car loaded manifest out of the 80-foot deep sag at Grover. One of the good things about the Coastline is the ease with which you can catch a train at multiple photography locations. This same train is now near Capitan and will be able to catch up again at West Santa Barbara about 18 miles ahead. Surf, California is a small public beach location that's surrounded by Vandenberg Air Force Base. The access here, for national security reasons, is limited by one road from the small town of Lompoc. This eastbound Coast Starlight looks like something from an advertising poster as it crosses the beach at Surf, California in the afternoon light. This eastbound Guadalupe local from Santa Margarita and its interchange with the Santa Maria Valley Railroad is very overpowered with 2 AC 4400s and only 3 cars. This location is a great place to expect and photograph meets, and it can double as a family outing location as well, since it has a fine beach area and park facility. Shortly before sundown, an eastbound intermodal approaches to take the siding just past the bridge at milepost 302. They'll wait there for an extended San Diegan Amtrak train heading for San Luis Obispo, 50 miles from here. The lead locomotive is an SD40 built in 1966 and rebuilt by Morrison Knutson in 1995. The second unit, also built in 1966, was rebuilt by SP in their Roseville shops back in 1980. The third unit is a 1980 built SD40 tunnel motor in its as-built condition. These are manually thrown switches in non-CTC territory where radios are essential to train movements. The crewman will ride the last car and probably remember how nice a caboose would be about now. Connecting off the Y at Surf is the White Hills branch line, often called the Lompoc branch, and it heads 5.6 miles to the town of Lompoc, plus an additional 8.4 miles up the steep 3% grade to the White Hills gypsum plant. This daily local also serves the agricultural industry here on 10-mile-an-hour rated 100-pound rail. After passing one of California's most ideal growing areas, the local will eventually run on city streets to reach the foothills. The town itself is a pleasant place to base your stay if you want to spend some time train watching at Surf. After turning the train in the yard in town, the SP provided another interesting operating option of running the cars up the hill backwards. The crewman, with his walkie-talkie, is acting as a spotter, nearly hidden in the covered hopper's framework. The locomotives in these scenes from Lompoc are all GP38-2s. This is a small group of non-turbocharged V16 machines which use the 645 series engine. They only develop 2,000 horsepower, but the lack of a turbocharger makes them very reliable and suitable for branch line service and their low speeds. This grade is 3% and on 10-mile-an-hour rated track with light rail. On some days, you can see a push-pull style of operation where 2 engineers are used as well as a crewman to work the switches and couplers. Having a locomotive at each end of the train adds another engineer, making a crew of 3, but it makes switching at the gypsum plant easier and faster work. The track roughly follows Miguelito Road up to the plant. This plant is a major supplier of drywall board. The basic chalky material comes from the nearby hills, explaining the name White Hills. The switchman will keep very busy today since 2 locomotives are operating in the plant at the same time. In 1980, when the GP38-2s were new, they were supplied with red gyrating lights, the oscillating Mars white lights, as well as the standard headlights. This configuration is being simplified to the current favored style. This is one GP38-2 with a red gyrating light still installed, showing off what used to be an SP trademark.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep more videos coming to YouTube, and visit our website for many more productions on DVD. Thanks for watching.